Hello guys, and welcome to Till Vacuum Do Us Part. I'm going to show you some before clips of my house because it was a disaster for us. I know it's not a disaster for everybody, but for my house, it was getting out of control. It was time for a cleaning video, and I thought this is the perfect time because this is the last cleaning video you guys are going to see in this house. It's not going to be the last time I clean it, but it's going to be the last time you guys watch me clean it. So throughout today's video, I'm going to be popping up a ton of photos of what the house looked like when we moved in and all the different ways I've decorated it. So like when I'm working on my master bedroom, I'm going to show you all those photos, the kitchen, the living room. It's going to be so much fun. So let's go ahead and jump straight into it. The first place we're going to begin is in my laundry room. I knew I had so much laundry overflowing in like all the other bedrooms. I knew I needed to get this going first because I was going to be working on it all day long. But I wanted to show you right here. This is actually what our laundry room looked like when we first moved in. There was no shelves, there was no faux tile right there. And then you can see at one point we added the shelves, and then later on we did that faux tile look with just paint and a paint pen. I have a whole video on it if you want to see it, but I feel like it just made it look so much grander and so much more bold without spending a ton of money at all. I know a lot of people really don't enjoy doing laundry, but it's not something that bothers me. I feel like when you have a really good system, that helps out. But I'm even all for like all laundry days, but I just love being at home. And I don't like love putting it away, but it's definitely not the worst cleaning thing that I do. So for me, laundry day just means my house smells really clean because of all the like laundry detergent and softeners, so I'm not against it. Now we're going to talk about the mud room side of my laundry room. This is actually what it looked like when we moved in, so we really didn't do anything here. My dad did make me like a custom bench right there, or bench cover, or the little cushion, and that really helped it a lot. And then I added those wicker baskets just from Amazon. Other than that, I changed out the pillows, I may change out the wreath, I may put like a seasonal like holiday banner in here, but everything was pretty simple in this room, didn't do many itch to switches, and I've just always enjoyed this space. I think it is so funny. If you look to the left of the screen, Tiger's right there. He's my boss. He's my supervisor. He thinks he's behind the camera, but he actually got caught this time, but he is always there making sure I'm not slacking on the job. And of course, I'm going to finish up by getting my floors clean because a room is not clean if the floors aren't clean. And you guys know I've been talking about like these wet, dry, vacuum mop things for a while now, and I'm obsessed with them. Like, it's been my favorite cleaning tool since I got my like Bissell, but I was able to work with Roborock, so thanks to them for sponsoring today's video. They also invited me to compare the Roborock Dyad Pro versus the Tyneco S5. We are going to test these out. We're going to put them to the test. So if you want to see how they actually work, I'm going to be putting real life messes down and testing them out. I will say from just looking at them, they look like they're the same. They look like they have a lot of the same features, but when you actually flip them over and you see the bottom, you really start to see the difference between the Dyad Pro and the Tyneco. And like I mentioned, I'm going to do some testing for you. I'm also going to talk about all the features about them, but then like towards the end of this, I'm going to tell you the reasons why I loved it. Like once I used both of them, I want to share with you like why I prefer one over the other.
Max mode, floor drying mode, eco mode, auto mode.
That right there is one of the first reasons I love it. It actually talks to you, so you're not guessing like what setting you're on or anything like that. It also comes with this nice tool, which Chase appreciated because he's the one that has to clean like all the hair out of it when I'm done, because Savannah and I have such long hair. Another feature that's really cool, it has this like auto detergent dispenser. So most other products like this, you dump it into the water, but if you don't use all of the water, then you just almost waste that solution, where this one you can just use as needed. So you just fill up the water tank. If you need to dump it out for fresh water, that's fine, but you never had to waste any of the product itself. Now we're gonna put these bad boys to the test. I wanna actually see how well they work. So the first thing we're gonna do is on something dry. So this is just like crushed up crackers. This could be dirt. This could be like dead grass, whatever it is in your house, cereal. I wanna see how well it does. And then we're also gonna do it with like something wet and liquidy as well. From this look or this glance, it looks like they both did really well, and they did. As far as like getting it up off the tile, I will say when you get close, it didn't get it out of my grout right there. See all those crumbs? And over here, it pretty much got every single crumb. I think there's like one left there. So if you're worried about your grout getting dirty and you're wanting something that actually cleans it, just right there, I can tell a big difference between the Roborock and then the Tyneco. I'm not gonna lie, this actually freaks me out a little bit because these are two new products that I'm testing out, but let's try it with ketchup and let's see what they do. I think I said that was gonna be my last test, but I'm gonna do one more because I feel like getting as close to the like baseboards as possible is so nice, just because we have so much like dog fur and just dust in our house, and so I really want to test it out. So I did those like dry crackers again, and I did it the exact same way. So let's see how they both perform up against the actual wall. As you can see, they both perform really well when we're doing all of this testing, but what's nice is the Dyad Pro is actually way more affordable. When I purchased it, I got a way better deal, but it also has way more features. So the Dyad Pro is gonna run for about 43 minutes, where the Tyneco's about 35. The Dyad Pro also has a larger dirty and clean water tank. It has a larger battery, which means it's gonna be about 30% higher efficiency. And it also has a self-drying, which makes maintenance a breeze, just so it's gonna dry on its own and you don't have to worry about any like lingering odors. I am going to leave their link down below in my description box. It is the perfect time to purchase this with Mother's Day just right around the corner. If you're a mother, buy it for yourself, buy it for a friend, buy it for your mom. If there happens to be a husband here, I promise you she will not be mad when she opens this up on Mother's Day. It's going to make her life so much easier, and I promise you she's going to be so thankful. If you're a mom here and you want this as your gift, just take that link, copy it, and send it or text it to your husband so you can have this gift for Mother's Day. And I do want to thank Roborock again for sponsoring today's video. Now we're gonna head on into our master bedroom, and I love sheet day. Like, I don't love taking them all off and I don't love putting them all back on, but I love having clean sheets to sleep in. You'll have to let me know if you're the same way. But here is what our room looked like when I first decorated it, when we first moved in. You'll have to let me know what you think. I was still in more of my glammy stage. Like, when we first moved into this house, I wanted to go glam, and then I learned I wasn't all in on glam. Then I switched to Scandinavian, which you can can see right here, and you're starting to see a touch of what I really love right now, which is organic modern, which kind of brings everything all together, and this is what it looks like. So I feel like I finally found my style. I love it. It brings so much peace and joy, so I'm so glad I finally found it. But you're gonna see throughout this video that I was glam at first, I was Scandinavian, and then we finally found that organic modern feel that we all love so much. I think with anything, it takes trial and error, and I've loved my house in all the stages, but when you get it right, you just know it, and I can tell that I've got it right because I'm not doing as many itch to switches. Now, I'm curious to see how this is going to go in the new house. It always takes me a little bit to figure out which room should be what room, so I know I'm already going back in my head of like Chase's office and my office. I will say I bought us the exact same desk because they're actually super heavy and they're not easy to move around. That way, if I need to flip-flop offices, I don't have to move the desk. So that's where I am. That's how crazy I get. Yes, I even thought about that when I was buying desks, just to make the itch to switch a little bit easier. Now I'm going to start getting our extra sheets out of this ottoman in our closet. Sometimes I do this, so if I don't want to worry about putting sheets on later that night, if I know I'm going to be tired and it's going to be a busy day, I'll just put fresh sheets on immediately. But the majority of the time, I like to wait to get my fresh sheets like out of the washer and dryer and put them on the bed immediately because I just feel like they feel cleaner that way, they smell cleaner. I don't know, it's just about the whole experience. I don't know, there's something I love about fresh sheets out of the dryer, but on this particular day I was like, I just want to go ahead and get it made and move on, so that's what I'm gonna do. Last minute, I did decide to go ahead and take these covers off, these like Euro shams. I don't wash these very often just because we don't sleep on them. They're just for decor only, so they really don't get that dirty. But I felt like I was doing all the other bedding, I might as well go ahead and take them off and make sure they're fresh and clean with everything else. And then I put them back on the next day. I'm super curious, like, how often do you actually change out your sheets? Like, I know we all want to do it weekly and it all feels nice to do it weekly, but when's the last time you've washed your sheets? Like right now, the sheets that are on your bed. Has it been a week? Has it been 2 weeks? Has it been a month? Has it been longer? Let me know down below in the comments section, and there's no judgment from me or anybody here. I'm just curious because life gets so busy, I think we forget sometimes. But if you're really struggling to get a good night's sleep, I know there can be a million factors, but just by putting fresh sheets on, I feel like it helps so much. I do this when I'm sick too. It's hard to get fresh sheets on and get them clean, but I always feel so much better with clean sheets on the bed and just sleeping in them. I just feel like you definitely sleep a ton better. I'm gonna make the bed the best I can, but like I said, some of my bedding is still in the washer and it's gonna take a little while, so I'm still using like my pillow inserts and all of that. But even the blankets that I use for like decor on top of the bed, I went ahead and washed those this time as well. So I just used this other blanket to kind of jazz it up a little bit, but for the most part it looks fine, it's clean. I'm gonna go ahead and move this chair out. I don't know if you noticed, I don't even think I mentioned it, but I pulled in the chair for my office in here. I just feel like it's gonna fit our style better in the new house, so I'm trying to figure out like what we need, what we don't need. I was gonna go ahead and sell the other chair, but Chase was like, let's just wait and take it to the next house because we never know if we're gonna need it, which is actually smart. But I'm thinking about leaving this chair in the room. It looks better when I have that blanket on it, but I think it's just more our style. So you'll have to let me know what you think. I'm not always good about putting the laundry away immediately. I try really hard. I at least pull it out and like fluff things out so they won't get wrinkled. And sometimes I'm really good. Like when I have a ton of laundry, I will definitely put it away as I go. I feel like if I just do one load a day, I tend to just put it on my bed in the basket, and then Chase and I are super good about folding it and putting it away before we go to bed. Like I never set the basket down and say, we'll do it tomorrow. If you have to do that, I totally understand. I'm just saying like with our routine. But when I know I'm doing several loads, I feel like it's just so much easier to get it all put away because I'm going to need that basket here in a little bit. And then when I go to bed, I don't have like 6 loads of laundry to fold and put away. So it's just easier for us to do it in little segments. One thing I did forget to do was get some pictures of my closet. It wasn't a big change. In the beginning, I did have Chase like on the opposite side, and then we switched one day just because it worked better for me filming and like where the mirror was. But other than that, I didn't throw any pictures up because it's a closet and doesn't do much. But we're about to head into what was our original guest bedroom, which is now my office now. So if you want to see all those changes, stay tuned because it is coming up shortly.
I'm going out my mind. Give me some directions to get to you. To get to you, ain't gonna waste my time. I know that we got connection. I think about you.
So like I said originally, this room from the beginning was a guest bedroom. So I'm about to show you that. Now it's my office. But it was really pretty, and like I said, it started out glam because I was going all in with this house. Like I wanted a glam house. Once I had it, I realized I love touches of glam, but I didn't like love it everywhere. So then I just went back to this like neutral palette. I took a lot of the glam out. And then we went into that Scandinavian phase where I had like the dark wood and the blacks and the trees. So you can just see it slowly develop into what it is. And I'll show you the actual guest bedroom when we get to it. But like I said, right now it is my office. But if you want to see where the guest bedroom is now and what it was before, then stay tuned. One thing I did decide to do while I was cleaning in here was to actually wipe down my desk. You would think I would do this pretty often because I sit at this desk a lot, like a whole lot, like several hours a week, but I just never wipe it down. I feel like in every other house and every other desk, I feel like I always wiped it down, but I just never did here. I feel like this room wasn't super dusty, which isn't common. I feel like every room in my house is so dusty, but it just didn't get dirty. It had been a long time. Probably the last time you saw me clean it on camera, however long ago that was, that's the last time I had wiped it off. So it was just nice to kind of get it nice and fresh again. Now we're going to move on to Chase's office, and this actually used to be my office when we first moved in. And once again, you can see it had that glam feel, lots of whites. I even had some baby pinks in here, a lot of gold. I just had that vibe. I even have my wedding dress out in there. You can see I made a few changes here, and then it just kept developing into what it is now, which is in another room. I even had that gold shelf. We left that in the modern jewel. It worked so well in the bathroom, but it's seen a lot of designs because now it's actually Chase's office, I love it now. Like, if I were to choose out of all the offices I decorated, I would still choose his, even for me to be in it. I feel like it's just much more my style. It just feels very like luxurious. This one right here on the screen was really good too. You can start to see that organic modern coming in. I just hadn't found it yet. It was really fun creating this video because I could just see how my style was developing until I found exactly what I have now and just what I love. I will say, when Chase first took over this room, his office looked different too. I was in that Scandinavian phase again, so you can see we have all those like orangey wood tones and orangey leathers. It still had that organic feel, but it was definitely more Scandinavian, and I just love the balance we've created right here with like light woods and the tree and the black, but we still have that gold lighting. I just think it's like the perfect balance of all of it. We are going to talk about my entryway now, and I feel like this had the most switches out of every room. I could be wrong. My living room probably is like hanging in tight, but when we first moved in, it was a very farmhouse. Like, I was very farmhouse, but was trying to do glam. You could tell I was really struggling with, like, I loved farmhouse, but I wanted to go all in on glam. So right here I started farmhouse, but it didn't last long because then I went all in on glam and ended up with this stainless steel table I bought off Craigslist. I had these like light blue gray ottomans. I had a very glammy like lamp. It looked really good. And then I went in to this like organic modern farmhouse look. I still love this to this day. I just didn't love the orangey wood about it. And I had been looking for a black entryway table for so long, but they were so expensive. And I finally got the idea to paint that stainless steel one, and it worked out perfect. This is my favorite design yet, so I know I'm doing good when it's my favorite after all those photos. But now let's talk about our guest bedroom, which used to be Chase's office. This is what it looked like when it was his office, and you can even tell where he is now. It's just elevated. Like, I love the look so much better. But we had done this really cool accent wall, so it worked out nice. But when we went to switch offices, because I needed more of a bedroom with a door, the other office didn't have a door and it was really hard for editing. I decided to take the room I'm in now because I didn't want this big black wall in my office. But it worked out perfect for the guest bedroom. You can see it here. It just makes our headboard just pop off of it. All this white bedding. I feel like, again, it's just this perfect, like, organic, modern touch. I love the pops of black in it just to kind of ground it. So although this wall was done for Chase's office, I felt like it was just made for the guest bedroom. My biggest tip or advice I have for your home, wherever you are now, if it's a home, if it's an apartment, make it your own. Just because you've always had this is your kid's room or this is your office, if it's not working for you or you think there's a better way to set up your house, do it. Like, our linen closet has always been our homeschool closet. Our entryway closet has been our dance closet before. It's your house and you live in it, so definitely make it work for you. Like, take the walls around you and just make it work and just make it function for your family. I've had so many people write in after I've said that in a video. I try to say that in as many home videos as I can, and they're using like front closets as pantries. Maybe your house didn't come with a pantry. Maybe you don't need a coat closet, or maybe you don't need a linen closet. Like, make it your pantry, make it your toy closet, make it whatever you need so that the house functions for you. I'm going to work on getting this kitchen cleaned up. When I'm facing a different angle, I'm going to show you the changes that we've had in the kitchen. You wouldn't think there were many, but there's a few big ones, so definitely stay tuned to see what it looked like when we actually moved into the house. Just a little tip for you as well, if you want to make your sponges last longer, I always cut mine in half. I had picked these up from the store. They're not my normal kind, but I was running low. But it always makes them last longer if you'll just cut them in half, and then they fit perfectly on a little cupcake stand, and so it's just like a win-win. So when we moved in, a few things were actually different, and the first thing was our island. We had painted it that cadet blue, so it was like a light blue with like a gray tint to it, and we weren't in here too long, and we had them come in and paint it white just because I realized that really wasn't my style anymore. Once we realized that we were going more Scandinavian at the time instead of glam, we painted it and it made a huge difference. Another thing that changed that I couldn't find a picture of was our kitchen island lighting. So the builders installed it, and like the first or second day that we moved in, I had Chase switch it out. I didn't like it. I thought I would. I always get so worried thinking about that with our new house. I'm like, what are we putting in that we're gonna be like ripping out as soon as we move in? But the next area that I changed a lot was this dining room. So I had a lot of different tables. Oh, this is the ones that like makes me cringe the most. I was trying to go glam. Did not love it. Those blue chairs got sold very quickly. Then I went into this type of glam, whatever you want to call it. I don't know. I really struggled with the dining room figuring out my style, and that's like a really pricey area to struggle with because, you know, dining chairs are kind of expensive, dining tables, but you can see how my style is developing. I still love that one right there. I love what I have now, but I love that other photo just as much. I really hope you guys enjoyed just seeing the journey in today's video, just seeing where we started and where we are now. It was just fun to look back. I do want to thank Roborock again for sponsoring today's video. I'm going to have their link down below in my description box. I hope you guys have a wonderful week. I hope you subscribe so you don't miss any of our future content, because we get to do this all over again in a new house, and I want to see you there. So you guys have a good week, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!